the level of competition, that's it, the intensity that's in training, and they say you play the way you train, and they're bringing that to Croke Park every time, you know.
So the number one thing is trying to get on the Kilkenny panel. That's a massive battle to get in. To get on the first place, like Kieran Joyce and all, Pat Hartley, all those great fellas we saw at Fitzgibbon, they didn't even get on the Kilkenny panel. Now 24 and 25, their chance is gone. Now they see a minor team here today with 5 or 6 really fellas of great potential. So the battle is to stay on the panel, and then when you're on the panel, to get on the team. And now, to be on the team for the 5 in a row, to step out in the Croke Park as a starting 15. Can you imagine the battles there'll be in training between now?
There'll be a few more broken fingers.
That's for sure. Well, you know,
and that's the secret. And like Cody keeps it so low key, so there'll be no talk of the 5 in a row. The battle will be to get on that first 15. So that'll deflate completely from the pressure of the 5 in a row. The battle will be not to win the 5 in a row, but to get on that starting 15 for the first Sunday in September.
Coming back to the Kilkenny minor team who we saw earlier on, giving Galway, same as the senior match, a very big beating in that, and 3-4 of their players will almost definitely make it. But they won't be rushed through. They won't be like Ollie Canning, who came straight out of the Galway minor team onto the Galway senior team, or at least they would have wanted him to do it in the first case. Let's say.
Most of these
guys you might see for 2 or 3 years.
They'll go. Most of them will go. They'll all go to third level. They'll be playing Fitzgibbon hurling for some team. And the likes of John Dalton, he's on this year. He's 5 years in that panel, so tried to get on. These fellas, John Tinnison, who's got injured, they do it in apprenticeship. They don't really walk on. And even the likes of, say, Richie Hogan was painted up as a kind of a white-haired boy early on. You find now he's on the panel and he wasn't even brought on today. That's what makes them so good. And as Gerard said there, the intensity in training, like they're raw strong, they're very fit, they're very physical, they have great skill, but they have the whole lot together, and they're willing to take the hard knocks to do that in training as well. You look at Chad there. Okay, they took him off near the end, he got a standing ovation. But he knows well, Ling is going well in training, Michael Finlay is there, Michael Rice. You might find the next year, I still think Rice might be centre forward. If Henry is injured, Rice could slot in centre forward and Chad hold on. But Chad knows well that if everyone is fit, he'll have a hard job because Rice is kind of in possession. So that's what makes it so good.
But the whole tone has been set by Cody though. You know, Cody sets the whole tone of that. You know, what happened yesterday doesn't matter. It's what happened today is what happens tomorrow.
But they play a simple brand. They play a simple brand.
I know, but to be able to keep that focus, though, you know, so many teams lose that focus, and like the end result becomes important. But the end result isn't important to Cody. It's what you do from the first minute of the game. And when you start to slacken, like Eddie Brennan did today, when he struck a few wides, he was taken off. What's Eddie worried about now? Will I be on the starting 15 for the final? So he has created that culture, and he has stuck with it. He has been genuine about it.
But the players have bought into it.
I know. They will buy into it because they know he's genuine about it. He the first time I knew Cody, he always said to me, there are always plenty of great hurlers in Kilkenny. That's his #1 philosophy.
Yes.
So if you don't do it for him, he'll find somebody else.
But he never worries much about what the opposition are doing. He let them do, make all the switches, make tactically, the side shows don't matter. His full concentration on his own squad.
And of course, it's about getting the best then of what you've got, making sure that you're playing up to your optimum. Today, to start off, Cork got stuck in early on, you know, try to be physical with Kilkenny, and the next thing, there's 2 goals gone in the net and you're in trouble.
Yeah, and how many times have we seen this in the past, Michael? You know, this is just today that this happens, right? And yeah, you are saying maybe Cork were battening down the hatches a bit, they were going to stay there, but look, we've seen this so many times. The man in the ball is an absolute genius, right? And great awareness around them, just to pinpoint the pass, and it's in the back of the net. And perfect pass. But if you give Eddie Brennan a ball like that, one-on-one with the goalkeeper, he's going to score. And again, you know, I mean, they start back, moving back here again, Fitzpatrick again, ball out, and it's a long ball, right? I mean, you would kind of say it's not a forwards ball, right? It's a Hail Mary ball into the square and stuff like that, right? But there's a follow up there. There's a guy who's going into the square, they're following the ball. There's maybe a chance that it's going to break, and it's simple.
He keeps it simple.
And
he doesn't rise it.
No pick. And like he was on fire in that first half for 40 as well. And a guy coming back into the team with great hunger and desire again to nail his position for All-Ireland.
Just going back to that again with Henry, like, wouldn't it be a shame if he missed the final? You know, going for the 8 All-Irelands, you know, going for the 8. Everybody knows he deserves his place in the history of the game to join ring. Like Eddie Brennan will be worrying about the start now, and he's the other one really to win the 8 All-Irelands on the field. So that, you know, everybody, I think every neutral, even everybody outside in Kilkenny, everybody in the 32 counties will be hoping that Henry will be back and have the chance to win.
Oh, there's no doubt about that. We don't know if Kilkenny are going to win the All-Ireland, obviously. We're not going to rule Tipperary and Waterford out of this equation just yet. But some of the play that we saw from Kilkenny today was just class.
Yeah, well, it's typical. Look at this, under the high ball again. This is Hogan, little hand pass out. The dude's so simple. This is Tommy Welch, up, bang, straight away. Like, this is Tommy Welch going back, catching high again. Like, you can talk about, like, you can coach, but they're just so natural. High as Jersey, this is over high ball. Watch this up in there. Richie Power, deadly in there. Now, this fella to me really stood up today. He's been threatening to do this all along, and Brian Cody will be very happy. Again, look at this. little hand pass back here, little flick back, left-handed, like, you know, straight in, kind of straight over the bar. There's nothing. Cork were completely beaten today. There won't be a big, like, there'll be no giving out to Cork. They were just overpowered. We're just weren't there to play against them.
Cork were poured out today, and in a lot of places, in a lot of aspects they were played, they were poor today. But I think the man that's ignited their attack at Kilkenny is poured out full forward. No doubt about it. He's brought a new enthusiasm to it. They can afford to put Sheffield into the corner. They now have a marksman at the edge of the square.
Deadly in the air as well.
Well, he did that actually, the Carrigan below in the league match in Park Keith, except that he didn't finish. He almost let it go. I think he got 3 or 4 points from play.
He's
just so good in the air. He's just so brilliant in the air, you know, that you think you have the ball, next thing the hand goes up, he's a snatch, and not alone has he got, but in one movement he's gone. And he opens the gap before you have time to react. And that's what he did for the last goal today.
Okay, so we have Kilkenny obviously in the final. Tip Waterford next week. Who do you fancy?
Well, Tip are going to be favourites, all right?
Yep.
Waterford will play kind of they'll have tactics go out, even if they're playing Kilkenny, they'll have their own tactics, they'll try to, you know, to outmaneuver them very hard. Tip will be favourites going in, but talking to Waterford people, they really fancy themselves, but you'd have to feel from last year, even though Tip got a hiccup on the way against Cork, that Tip should win it, and if they do, like, it'll be a big occasion in Croke Park.
Oh sure it will, yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
especially after last year.
Yeah, they will take an awful lot of confidence Waterford from the Munster final will themselves, but like probably I suppose with Davy and stuff like that, will he go back to their tactic of bringing Malumphey back, crowding the defence, try and keep it low scoring, trying to stop that attack against Tipperary with Corbett and Norman McGrath, all these guys that love open space, but I just think Tipperary will have too much, to be honest with you.
I suppose if you go on the Munster final replay, they mean Waterford only beat them and barely beat them, maybe you know, by a point or two. I think a lot of people will be hoping Tipperary will beat Waterford. You know, I think today is a bit of a downer for Waterford because, you know, Waterford are not going to beat Kilkenny, whereas Tip have a great chance.
Yeah.
Well, going on last year's form, I don't think Tip are up to last year's form yet.
Yes.
But at least it would be an All-Ireland to really look forward to. Tip coming back for revenge for last year, Kilkenny out for the 5 in a row, but I think no matter who
you're giving Davy great incentive. You're giving Davy great incentive. Absolutely.
I think Waterford did very well not to win the Munster final. But
giving Davy loving your below.
And you know, every game stands on its own. You know, and next Sunday will stand on its own. They won't be thinking of any game beyond that, and Waterford will do everything in their power to win it. But as a neutral, I would say that if Waterford get to the final, I wouldn't regard Waterford as having as good a chance as Tip of beating Kilkenny. That doesn't say that Waterford won't beat Tipperary next Sunday.
But I see one big problem for Tip next Sunday. Talking to a lot of people around the country, Tip people especially, they're looking forward to playing Kilkenny in All-Ireland as a kind of a revenge mission from last year. Now that to me suits Waterford because they can go in there and say, listen, who do these fellas think they are?
Sure.
They have us to beat. They will play, they'll play a different, they won't be playing as open, they'll play very defensive. And if it's 4 points to 3, Waterford will be quite happy with the 4 points.
Yeah.
Okay lads, we've almost come to the end of the programme here in Croke Park for the afternoon. Now just before that, let me mention some GA related programmes coming up on RTE radio and television. On Radio 1 in a little while, you can hear Take Your Point. Damien Lawler is in the chair and he will be reflecting on today's games here at Croke Park with his studio guests and listeners' opinions as well. Then later on tonight here on RTE2 television, you can catch up with the nighttime edition of the Sunday game. James Cahill will be along to look back with his studio guests on today's All-Ireland hurling semi-finals, and that is at 9:30. And then next Sunday, back here on this programme, it's the second part of this year's hurling semi-final bill. It is, we were saying, Waterford and Tipperary in the senior semi-final. It's also Clare versus Dublin in the minor. We're on the air again at 1:15. Okay, should be more good stuff next weekend, but for now it just remains for me to thank my studio guests here today, and of course they were Cyril Farrell, Tomás Mulcahy and Ger Loughnane. Thank you for watching, and until the next time, bye-bye.